British DJs, an American voiceover. It's the Harley and Josh Show.
At the moment, some of you guys may know that I am currently recording an album. We are doing it's about 14 songs at the moment of lots of rock and roll and rockabilly and some sort of real kind of jazzy kind of things. A little bit of blues in there as well, which is what, you know, those who have seen the shows that we put on, it would be a little bit remiss without some blues in there. But we are currently holding a Kickstarter campaign to make sure that we can pay all the musicians, I can pay all the musicians that have been involved, as it's been a really, really beautiful process to be a part of, to be honest. These songs are all ones that I've written, but people have come in and put their stamps on the parts that I've given them, and you know, I'm just really thankful to have all these people with me. There's people like Harry Green on the saxophone, Ashton Jones, the fantastic singer, has been doing percussion with me, as well as Aaron O'Connor from his band. We've got James Symington, Hannah Hinchliffe, and Ben Goebel, who have all played with the Lockabillys in the past. If you want to hear some of the stuff that they've been doing, go on our Facebook page. There's some little clips that I've put up today of some of the horn parts they've been doing, which are fantastic. I've got Mr. Rich Webb, Murray Collins, and James Hicks with me on the recording. I've also got some harmonica playing. Oh my goodness, I just got gripped up on. I see how it is. So I start promoting my own stuff, and then he's like, "Nope, let's put a stop to that. Yep. Let's put a stop to this." Yes, so we have a very special guest who is a special guest every single week. But the past couple of weeks, you know, this is a nice little surprise to have you in here, Harley.
I'm a rarity.
Yeah, you are. It's nice. It's like you're like one of those legendary Pokemon.
I am.
I want to throw balls at you right now.
Well, let's do that.
Where have you been, Bird?
I've been at Worsted Park.
Worsted Park.
Doing a conference at Worsted Park.
Oh, what? Holding a conference?
I've been doing sound for a conference.
Oh, I see. What's the company?
Not a clue. Wait, St James's Park.
St James's Park, but I mean
St.
the company.
James's Place.
St James's a place of St James. Wow, that's pretty incredible. So who was it? Your PA?
No, I just turn up and run a desk.
Oh, lovely.
So it's an in-house PA, but they just need a guy to run it.
Nice.
I'm the guy.
Nice. So was it lots of lapel mics and lecterns and things?
Headsets, wireless systems. There were 5 on the go today.
How many of them went wrong?
And 2 handhelds. None. Well, apparently the 6th one went down. So by the time I turned up, they'd replace it with the 7th, which was just a spare.
I've never been a part of a production or a conference where there have been lapel or lectern mics or headset mics where at least 3 haven't messed up, or you just hear rustling constantly.
Their system is really well kept.
Really, yeah.
It's like we always have 2 spare mics on hand and 2 handhelds,
right,
ready for something to go wrong.
Yeah, very good.
I've not had anything go wrong under my watch. Had a lectern might go down, but we always had a spare, so it was all right.
Give us a smile,
Harley. Take a picture
Harley.
of me.
Yeah, because it's just nice to have you here, and I want to show everybody what you look like, because they've missed you, man. They've missed you.
It's been so long.
I know, right? So how was your holiday?
Hey, it was so good.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
We
went to Amsterdam for the week.
Nice.
And went to Centre Parks.
Oh, beautiful. Centre Parks in Amsterdam.
Yes, it was all right. Not
I didn't even know there was one.
There's like 3. See
any music while you were there?
Not really. No, there were a few buskers on the streets of Amsterdam, but there wasn't any music in the park where we spent most of the week.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of music in the park, you see it's open for applications now. Ipswich Music Day.
Yes, I've already applied for with Chart Attack.
The Chart Attack, huh?
Yep.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe there is a rule to say that you can't play more than 3 times consecutively.
I thought it was twice, yet I know bands who have played every year for the past 6 years.
Yeah, I know. And I haven't applied yet because I feel like I don't want to be unfair to other bands if I take a slot and another band deserved it. But, I mean, you know, if there are loads of other bands that keep getting those places, I feel like I'm probably getting snubbed here, aren't I?
That's it. Like, there are certain bands that play it every year without fail, and they are good bands and they get a good pull. However, I do feel it's a little bit unfair to say. I mean, when I applied one year for one of my bands and were told that they don't do cover bands, it's only original music.
What?
And yeah,
what?
The whole BBC stage was just cover bands, tribute bands all day.
So, oh goodness! But we have some great news because Mr. Daniel Lee Harvey is now on the board for Mr. Music Day.
That's really good news.
That's incredible news, right?
He is a guy that supports music absolutely wholly.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was.
Well, he's like Jesus. Yeah, I mean, he's holy. Holy
He's
supports.
holy. I actually have a
Makes
quote.
bread.
I have a quote from Dan Harvey.
Is it eat
on
this
my
bread and
phone.
fish and shut up?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Let me turn this water into funkadelic music.
Send the water into funk.
That's something that he could possibly say.
Funky water. No, I don't. Nobody wants to drink that.
I've started writing down music quotes. If anybody's got some really good music quotes that anyone locally has said, I'm writing these. I've got a plan with it, but I don't
Apart from that one that's on Bob Marley's, like everybody uses that Bob Marley quote. So the truth is, everybody's gonna hurt you. Just gotta find out who's worth hurting for. Yes, we get it. It's in your Facebook profile. You're all profound and deep. Now shut up about it. Anyway, what's this music thing?
He posted this on Facebook on his page a few weeks ago. Music is definitely one of the greatest things humanity has ever created. And I just thought, that was it. No picture, no link, just that.
Yeah.
As I can imagine him just listening to some music and being so
It's been
happy
like,
and going,
boom, this blew my mind.
I need to tell the world.
He just got funkified.
There was also another person who was at the who's not on the board, I don't believe, but who was also at the gig on Saturday, was Daniel Harvey.
Yeah. We had two Daniel Harveys in one place at the Impilo show.
Yes.
Which was rather incredible, wasn't it?
Oh yes. Have you started talking about the app?
No, I haven't yet. So I want to just make sure that everybody knows who we're talking about, because we never talk about Impilo.
Never.
And I feel like they need to just get an idea of what it sounds like. This is Tempo by Impilo.
Ow!
Yeah.
Well, you just got to let that groove play out, to be honest.
You can't cut that off.
No. Well, James Hicks was telling me, because James Hicks actually depped on drums with them for their gig at the Steamboat.
Oh yeah.
It was part of for the charity event they were doing as Astrid Ivy's fundraiser, and it was
yes.
great show. But he was saying that he never appreciated the groove in that song until he really listened to it and played it, because there's that dun ba-dum.
Yeah.
But there's but there is the kick drum part going with the bass line as a little extra beat that I hadn't noticed until he said it, because it actually goes da 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 boom ba ba da ba. There's a little extra beat added on there, so it makes that little boom ba. So listening to it next time, it's really quite a cool little thing to lock into.
Nice.
But yeah, we were just literally talking about the rock project in the break there, as that's just going strength to strength at the moment, isn't it?
It's going really well. David just messaged me today saying he's listening live.
Hi, dude.
He's really happy because
it was nice to see him. Actually, it was the first time I got to hang out with him outside of work where I wasn't working. Well, I was doing the PA, but I had
most
time
of your
in
work
between.
was done.
Yeah,
by the time it was set up and
so I could actually just sit there and chill out and talk to him and just, I don't know, listen to, the trials and tribulations that go along with doing the rock project, because he's got a lot of work on his hands.
We've got lots of plates spinning at the moment. We've got I have been working on some backing tracks over this weekend.
Lovely, because because we did a really interesting thing you did a really interesting thing at Old Jet, where we used the Mementos live tracks for I Love Rock and Roll, and you could put in and take out parts, which was very interesting.
That was the version without the drums, without the bass, without guitar, and without the vocals.
It's great.
And these I think we'll be putting up on
the group chat,
but also on our YouTube channel.
And
that'll be available for
YouTube
everyone.
channel.
So
is it Rock Project Ipswich YouTube channel, or is it UK's one?
Rock Project Ipswich.
Lovely. That's also on Twitter as well. I've actually found at TRP Ipswich.
Yes.
So hit Dave up on there if you've got some questions about it.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you're not part of the Rock Project, these videos will be available to you to play along to these songs. We've got another one working on that will be out next week as well.
But there's so much work going on. I mean, and it just, I don't know. It was nice to see him out at a gig, because it just sort of, I could hear that little sort of ticking thing inside his brain. He's like, look, I can't work 24/7. I've got to go to a gig. I've got to at least go out and let loose for a bit. But of course, Rainer was there playing drums, and Gav was there, and they're both tutors at the Rock Project. So it must be quite a nice little proud thing to see. But I like to think that we do a lot of work. I mean, well, I don't do as much work with the Rock Project as you do, nowhere near. But I turn up and I'm there for when I'm needed. But whenever I turn up, the gear is already set up.
Yeah.
They're already doing these quizzes. That Dave's obviously spent loads of time making these quizzes up and actually setting up the PA and the desk and getting all the music ready for the music quiz for people to see. Who's this artist by? So, which song is this artist by? Or whatever artist this.
What song wrote this artist?
You could say that in a profound way. There are certain songs that wrote a band.
There you go. There's a quote.
No. Anyway, so that's just, I don't know. Just we appreciate the work you're doing there, Dave. Before and after we finish, keep on trucking.
We've got loads of stuff, more so in the pipeline as well, Rock Project, that we're kind of opening out to the public as well.
Rolling out
during the school holidays. I don't know when they start. The February school holidays, whenever they is. We're looking at. We want to do some masterclasses.
Lovely.
Our teachers will be running bass, guitar, vocals, and drum masterclasses.
Nice. Right, so not song stuff. It will be more to do with theory and practice.
Theory, practice, and just the ideology of the instrument. I'll be doing a bit on choosing your bass, what sounds, in terms of like the pickup, setup, size. Because especially with bass, there's a lot of people who play a shorter scale, even they're big people. Scott Devine famously uses a 33-inch scale.
Does?
Scott Devine.
All right, yeah.
Really lovely bass player, but he
is
likes
fantastic.
33-inch, which is only 1 inch shorter, but that makes all the difference apparently. So finding the right bass, and I'll be doing some technique lessons, and keep doing. Sort of sharing what keeps it interesting for me and what keeps it fun for me.
That's very interesting.
Especially when you're learning an instrument such as bass, it's kind of hard sometimes to sort of stay into it without a band.
No, that's right.
I got back from
until you hear like Victor Wooten, and then you realise just how much range that instrument has.
Oh yeah, I said to Nikki when we got back from holidays, I'm really itching to play some bass. I haven't played, and she's like, "Oh, well, have a night play bass." I was like, "Yeah, but I want to play with a band."
Yeah.
And I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So I filled by watching Murray playing bass with the Halo, and
you're like,
great sound.
Yeah, you use that little 16th note there. Yeah. Usually a ghosty note. Yeah, dead notes. Yeah. Okay. Well, see, that's a strange thing, isn't it? That some instruments. I mean, the guitar can be very much the same, because a guitarist, we always want to sit there and go super out there in front of all the other instruments and just look at me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I find so many people's playing just really lacks from having anybody else with them, and by with them, you can have. A band on stage and a guitarist there, but they won't be playing with the band, if that makes sense. They'll just be sitting there going, you'll see that in a lot of jams where it's just somebody soloing over the whole thing, and you're like, no man, just lock in with people and you'll enjoy it so much more. I don't know, that's the thing. But yeah,
it's the Harley and Josh show. Yeah.
Are you got any gigs coming up this weekend, Harley?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
I need to find out. Someone was asking me about this literally 20 minutes ago, and I went, I can't remember what time any of them are. Right, so we are in February this weekend.
Yeah, we are indeed.
We're taking a one-way ticket to February.
One-way ticket to Feb and back. Sorry.
That's fine. I like that. No,
Old School Darkness.
Tune. Absolute tune. Yes, I'm playing with Oddball and the Shifty Twins.
Hey, first gig of 2018?
First gig of 2018.
Lovely.
Yeah, we've been a little bit quiet.
That's good segue from Mr. Dan Dolman there.
Of course, yeah. It was completely intentional.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, well. So we had a gig in December, and due to a logistical error somewhere along the line, it got cancelled. So we tend to do one gig a month, maybe two, but we don't go too heavy on it because we all work. We're really busy. Dan's really busy with other bands,
which you're also in.
I'm busy with other bands, and Oliver he does a lot of work that requires a lot of travelling and stuff. So he's not overly able to commit to gigging every weekend like we can't either.
Yeah.
So we're fairly we try and keep it sparingly, but we make the gigs we do
Really fun.
good. And we don't like doing 2 gigs in a similar place. I'm sure like nobody likes to, but we don't travel too far, so we can't really fill up a whole week with Felixstowe and Ipswich.
Yeah.
So we are going to be playing at the Kingfisher this Saturday. And I'm really looking forward to it. We've got some great new songs. I said I was going to give you some information on what songs we might be doing, and didn't. I was hoping we were going to record. We were going to have a rehearsal before then and be able to record one of the songs.
Right.
But that's not been possible.
Oh, life.
We might record some of this gig on Saturday if there's enough people to come along. Hint, hint.
Well, so that's going to be. You're regretting putting your face right into that microphone, aren't you?
It tastes musty.
How can something taste musty? But yeah, so you're recording it on the Behringer then, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be that'll be the way to go. We're doing Delilah by Tom Jones, which I'm looking forward to really doing that.
You know that everybody's going to go off singing on that one.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's going to be able to hear you.
No, it's
going to be
we had fun with
this.
this. I don't know if you're familiar with the sensational Alex Harvey band.
Alex Harvey Band.
Yes.
Cool.
They Scottish band from the 70s.
Gosh.
And there's a brilliant version of playing Delilah on the Old Grey Whistle Test.
Oh, okay. I know that.
Of which the guitarist, whose name I forget, and bass player are dressed as weird, scary jesters, whilst Alex Harvey serenades a audience of mannequins.
Okay, I've literally just heard a bunch of our viewers throwing up in fear. I just heard them doing that. Why would you put that image in their head?
It's hilarious. Just to search sensational Alex Harvey band Delilah,
right?
And it's the first thing that comes up. It's
Okay.
the song, like the arrangement that they do of it is so good because rock band, guitar, bass, drums, with a lovely organ sound as well.
Yeah.
And we've kind of gone on that, but done a little bit of the Bruce Dickinson kind of take on it as well.
Nice. Yeah.
Which is exactly what you'd expect.
With the fringe. I used to have Bruce Dickinson's haircut.
eBay
back.
or
yeah. It was a lot of money on eBay for me on the auction. No, it was.
Did you want it back or?
No, he never said anything. I just cut it off. I had because my hair was down to my hips and I cut in a fringe. I cut in the whole Bruce Dickinson fringe. I had it for about 4 or 5 months until people really, really started thinking I was a girl.
Yeah.
They were like, nice bangs. I'm like, what the bangs? I don't know what bangs are. So I know I bang my head.
So you grew the sideburns.
Mental health will drive you
at
mad.
least, at worst, think you are a bearded lady.
I couldn't grow any facial hair until like last year, I think.
So you were just making up for lost time.
Yeah, exactly. Please, just sticking other people's hair in my face.
Running over. I'm a guy.
Right, yeah. Cool. What was the venue at the Oddball gig?
Kingfisher.
In Ipswich.
In
you
Ipswich.
did say this last time, but what's the date of that again?
This is this Saturday, which is the third.
The third. I'm afraid I will not be able to make it because I'm playing a private party at the Dog Club.
Oh, really?
At the Trimley Sports and Social Club, as we've already talked about that old school 2004 rock days.
Is it for people you know? Or?
Yes, a good friend of mine of the band's, Colin Wedge. We're doing his birthday party. I won't say how old he is. I'm going to say 25.
Let's go with that.
He'll thank me for that one. But yeah, no, he's actually very, very thankfully dedicating a lot of the night. Because he's a really good fan of the band.
Yeah.
I'm not a good fan, but he is a fan of the band. He's great. To getting people to donate to the Kickstarter because we've only got by Saturday we'll only have about 10 days. No, we'll have 1 week left.
Right.
Because we're going until the 10th of February. So he's like, yeah, we'll do a little competition on the night just to get people to come up and sing with the band if they all, donate some money to the Kickstarter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, what's your progress on that so far?
It's scary, my friend. It's scary. We've got 40%.
Okay.
We're 40% funded, and we've got a week left. So I am pulling out all the stops, trying my absolute hardest to plug things, but I am only one man. So I'm basically just imploring people just to give us a hand, sharing things, just talking about it whenever they can with people. If you know somebody who's a rock and roll fan, if you know somebody that is a dancer or an instrumentalist or anything. just give it a share, give it a talk about. As this album is a real baby for me. It's a real baby for me.
As someone who's heard some of the early demos and stuff that may not have made it to public air, I can vouch that this is an album that needs to be made.
Thanks, man.
So I'm looking forward to it. I still haven't heard the drums that Hicks recorded. I really need to hear them.
Yeah. Trust me, that room.
He knows how to record.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's pulled out all the stops to make something beautiful.
Really has. And obviously I've got Murray mixing it. And the moment, actually, today, I asked him if he could come on the show just in case you couldn't make it today.
Yeah.
Because you had to work. But he is currently recording all the double bass parts at home. So with old Roofy, the big black and car-painted double bass of mine.
Roofy,
yeah. Because playing a double bass... we've talked about this before, I think.
Have we? Because it just sounds wrong.
Exactly.
It is wrong. Illegal.
It's because it feels like you're dancing with a fat bloke who's just had to, just been roofied.
Okay.
Because you literally can't let go because they'll just go. That's what playing double bass is like. It's just like, all right, I'll hold him up. He's a bit wonky. He's not very well balanced.
I had a joke in my mind, and I'm not going to say it on air.
Go on.
No.
Go on.
No, I'm not.
Be an awful person like me.
I'm not going to talk about the
I just talked about roofing somebody live on air. It's join the party.
I've already made the joke and you missed it.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to be checking back for the references.
Yes.
So, the rest of the week is going to be spent recording my Strat, which West End Music have thankfully worked on and fixed. They are a very, very good shop, aren't you, at West End Music?
We do like to try.
Yes, you do like to try. You do like to help your customers out, and I've been going there for years. You've always really pulled out the stops to get things done quickly for me because you always know that I do things last minute, and I'm like, hi guys, I need this guitar sorted tomorrow because I have a gig tomorrow, and you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that's how we work.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of, at least that's not just me. I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I left changing my brake pads till last minute.
Oh, you were driving.
Well, you
can get brake pads tested at West End Music.
No, not at West End Music.
Oh.
I did it over this weekend.
I mean, maybe you should think about that. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know how we'll fit a car downstairs. Stairs are very small.
Oh, you've got pretty big windows. I could drive straight through them.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah. James will have some great insurance premiums for that one.
Oh, yes. Just taking out a guitar. Oh,
but you left it until last minute to get your brake pads done.
Yeah, and as a result, needed new brake discs as well.
Oh, great. Yeah. No, that's classic cars.
Yeah.
Or classic vans. So I would recommend going to because we do have the rock stop, isn't it? The rock stop or the rock shop. Sorry,
rock shop. Yeah.
That West End Music brings along to the Rock Project every single time. I was hopeful a little while back when you were away. I was doing at the Coppleston Rock Project, and I saw the rock shop there. I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I need to restring for the for my. Because I was doing my Gretsch recordings at that point and my Gordon Smith guitar recordings, and I was like, okay, good, I'll get some 11s. I was like you're going to sell 11s to 11-year-olds.
That's it. We do mostly 10s and 9s and 10s. Because, an 8-year-old isn't going to want 13s on there.
Yeah. I was saying the same on the acoustic as well. I was like, oh, there's no 13s. So I was like, if anybody's not quite sure on how that works with gauges of strings, the smaller the number, the lighter the string. I use quite a high gauge because we're gigging heavily with them, and that just basically I get a lot more wear and tear out of them because they've just got much more tension to them, and they can just take a beating. And I mean, as I've been playing for quite a few years, my fingers have gotten a bit stronger. Whereas if you're a young'un and you're not quite getting there yet, don't use 11s. Yeah, they will shred you to bits.
Yep. I struggle to play with 9s nowadays because I just overbend.
Yeah, me too.
You just go,
and also you over fret, because the crazy thing with 9s and 8s especially is that if you put your fingers down too hard, like where the frets dip onto the fretboard, you can bend the string ever so slightly and ruin your intonation. Yeah, that's why it's another thing that I talk to my students about. As
someone who looked at your guitar, you do press hard.
Yeah.
You have worn through that some of your frets pretty quick.
Yep. Well, I mean, to be honest, both of those guitars. So you took in my Takamine. which was my first ever electroacoustic. I'd never had I had an acoustic before that, but I'd never gigged with one.
Yeah.
And that Takamine has been with me through thick and thin since I was 18. 10 years ago I bought that.
No wonder
that
it's worn
acoustic.
then.
Yeah, and I've played 13s on it from day one. And I've busked with it. I've done bands where I've been on tour where I didn't even have a case for it. Wow. It's just chucked in the back of a van, and I'm surprised that it's still alive. It's covered with my blood. You probably see inside the sound hole. There's a big splattering of blood in there.
I'm glad I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah, and that's why my index finger on my right hand is a bit messed up.
Yeah, it's like acoustics always go with you on tour.
Yeah,
because you may not use them.
Yeah.
You may not need, like...
What if there's a campfire?
Exactly. I mean, when we went away
in the middle of a van on the highway, yeah.
When we went away to Centre Parks with Rainer, I took a bass with an amp, but I also took an acoustic guitar.
Nice.
And there wasn't a day where it wasn't played. I mean, there were, 4 musicians there, and, everyone picked up and had a go and sung a weird song, usually a very...
tribute.
We didn't. No one sung tribute.
Nobody sung tribute.
They were usually quite profanated songs towards Rainer.
You don't always have to. No, not that one. I want to thank Rainer actually live on air, because the gentleman came over on Sunday. He saw that I put out a status about the Kickstarter, being a bit worried about the money not coming in, and he gave me a call and he said, "Look, I want to help you put the news out there about this, about the Kickstarter."
What a fella.
Yeah, and he came over on Sunday with all of his lovely cameras, and at my place with Murray, filmed an interview talking about the Kickstarter campaign, talking about why bother with Kickstartering and crowdfunding, and we did an acoustic version of one of the songs that's on the album called "I Can't Be Myself," which was a lot of fun to do. Murray was on cajon, I was on my Gretsch Rancher, and
nice.
He really got the angles right. He got the sound good. He got the lighting just perfect. But he also moved around and got sort of multiple shots of the things. And the guy's actually, now offering up his services to a select few to produce videos for people. Yeah. And actually,
I actually messaged him. He did a video because he was in the studio over the weekend with Noah. Was it last week?
Yes, yeah.
Noah Evans.
Doing well, isn't he?
Yeah, very well. And Rainer went in, recorded some drums. Gavin was mixing, did some bass for it as well.
Yeah.
And I was just, the images he was getting out of his camera was just absolutely beautiful.
He frames them well, doesn't he?
Really well framed, get a really good, he's got a good understanding of colour.
Yep.
And just really well cut. And I messaged him, I was like, dude, you're getting better every
Proper
week.
pro, yeah.
And he started well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he didn't sort of come out with just sort of doing some stuff on his phone, like on the first ever YouTube videos he's done. Anyway, so if you can get over to YouTube and subscribe to Rainer Vandel, he's now has his own YouTube channel ID, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
So if you just go /Rainer Vandel,
I believe so. I did find out over the weekend, if you just Google Rainer Vandel, it comes up with his YouTube channel.
Nice. There we go. So that's sorted. But the video of me playing on there and talking to him, and it was actually really fun. It was a fun interview. Yeah. He wants to do the Rainer and Josh show. No offense. One day when he's got a day off and you can't do it, I've got to get him in here. It'll be well fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So tune into his channel and subscribe by Friday to get some really cool content. I mean, just even after Friday, just subscribe. He's going to be great.
Certainly. I had a video that came out actually last week. I did a cover of Californication.
Oh, I did see this one. Yeah, well done.
And the funny thing you should say about filming on your phone, because I filmed it on my phone.
Nice. I mean, if you've got a good recording, it doesn't really matter.
If you've got good lighting, it can look good.
Exactly. Well, nowadays,
That's it. And I was really happy with that. So go check that out. Just youtube.com/Harley Cotton.
Oh yeah, I think we should play some music, as we've been talking to people for so long right now. I think people are probably going to get a bit fed up with this. I want to play a little bit of Bessie Turner because I've had her stuck in my head for days on end. She was singing backing vocals on the Lockabilly's album.
Awesome.
Another person that deserves to get the money that's coming on the Kickstarter. And she was also headlining the Berry Sounds Hunter Club Battle of the Bands competition last weekend. It looked like it went really well. There's some fantastic new talent coming up and she was supporting it, so good on her. This is Big Sleep by Bessie Turner. Just a little taster of the fantastic harmonies you can expect on the album. A little thing we were talking about there. That was Bessie Turner with Big Sleep. Harley, who we got listening in?
We got Mr. Toby Houghton listening in.
Hello.
Which is it's nice. Hello, Toby.
Hello. Is he playing with his puppet?
Yeah, no, she's still in my van.
God, that's terrifying.
It sounds weird. Yeah,
it really does, man.
Yeah, no.
So you want to talk about the change of game that's going on with the Rock Project at the moment?
Yeah, no. What I'm doing straight after this, I'm heading down to the meeting place in Whitton.
Whitton or
White
Whittam?
House. White House. Which I'm really looking forward to. It's where the Rock Project on Monday night used to be held at Foxhall Community Centre.
Yes.
Which I don't know if it's no longer standing.
Done, yeah.
It's definitely not.
There is a gaping hole.
It fell into the earth.
It's like Atlantis.
Yeah, it got shrunk.
Just slightly more 70s. Yeah, cool.
And so we're at this new venue, and it's like a really nice place. I quite prefer it to the old place. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot nicer. The size is really good, so you can still have a conversation. It's not like overly echoey, which is really nice. And I'm just really looking forward to getting back in there tonight. I've only done one day there so far with all the holidays I've been having. So yeah, nice. I'm really looking forward to that. Have you got any days on a Monday there yet? Or
no, nothing yet.
But I'm sure sooner or later.
Mondays are super busy with my own private teaching.
That's true. That's fair
Mondays
enough.
are the busiest day of my week. I think I gave it to myself because as a musician, a lot of the time, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, you'll be chock-a-block, super busy. But then it comes to Monday, everybody else is going, "Oh, I hate Mondays," and I'm like, "I'm still in bed."
Yeah.
But then you forget that because everybody else is going to work on Mondays. That's a lot of the time when they are on social media. That's when they're actually checking their emails and things like this. It's one of the best days to be promoting your stuff online. Check out, there's lots of Google Analytics on this of when people are visiting social media sites. I had a really great seminar with Nick Pandolfi.
Oh yeah.
Last week at Start East, which was a really interesting thing if anybody's interested in some business mentoring. He's from Mentor. There's also Start East hosting these network jams. But anyway, it's if you can get an idea of just how many people are using these sites on Mondays. That's why I cram my Mondays full with work.
Okay.
Because I know that it's going to get people out there anymore. But speaking of changing of venue, this week is Independent Venue Week.
Oh wow!
Independent Venue Week across the UK. There is so much music going on.
Is this why the stage set up the barriers are set up outside the smokehouse?
Yeah, it's the smokehouse. There is just so much going on this week. And as I just said to you, my cloud-based note system has failed me again as to what's going on. There are so much. All you got to do is just look on the John Peel Centre's website, the Smokehouse's website. Also, Three Wise Monkeys are doing quite a lot in Colchester. There are loads of gigs going on in Ipswich this week just to celebrate just independent music venues. I feel like there has been a big boom in independent music venues since the PRS licensing kind of backlash.
Really helped.
Yeah, less people have to pay huge licensing fees, so more and more people can host live music. That's benefited people like us. I'm actually having an interview with East Anglian talking about that this week, and you can check out that article probably in the next couple of days. The thing is with that is that there are venues like bistros, like the Waterfront Bistro in Ipswich. There are lots of little cafes like Applaud on St. Peter's Street, or is it St. Nicholas Street? St. Nicholas Street, that now put on music, just not all the time, but they can do it. There was Love One on St. Nicholas Street as well. They put on some acoustic things at the back there. If they had to keep paying these huge, ridiculous licensing fees, they wouldn't have to. So independent venues are the one. They give us more work.
Yeah,
So
100% for it.
100%, exactly. So
Bridge.
there are 100 bridges. There are so many events going on that I've kind of lost a lot of them. My sort of two favourites for this week are Motherfunker are going to be playing at Coper's Bar. They are there on the 3rd of February. That's Saturday. I'm afraid neither of us can make it because we are both working and gigging.
It's annoying because it's down the road for me.
Right down the road, yeah. Coper's Bar is putting on lots of new music. I am playing at Coper's Bar by myself at the end of February, debuting a load of new songs from the album.
Sweet.
They've got MJ Soul coming there soon as well.
Nice.
Lots of different music coming on at Coper's. But also going on at Coper's this weekend is my fantastic mother and all of her big, powerful power events pals from their events company that they've formed, putting on Carnival at Coper's this Friday, which I will be attending in some shape or form. I'll just leave that lion there. It's a party night to enjoy fiesta in Felixstowe, experience the Spanish culture in a fabulous environment, tapas, tasters, games and dancing, flamenco, I can't pronounce that. Rumba, salsa,
give it a go. Try it.
And the Macarena. So it's
what's the one you can't pronounce?
Sevillanas. Oh God, I am ignorant. I
don't even know what you're trying to say.
But this is it's all in aid of charity. There are I believe it's for find families in need. So there will be donations going around just to help families that either can't afford to live in today's climate. Some of them might be musicians. I wouldn't be surprised. If you want to support a good cause and also just have a lot of Spanish fun, Latino, live it up Latino style, that's the Copas of this Friday. They're also some of the same organisers from Living Latino stage at Global Rhythms, the Global Rhythms festival that goes on the week after Ipswich Music Day.
Yep.
They use a lot of the same stages and they use lots of nice world music, so just stuff you wouldn't usually hear. But yeah, my mother and all the Laura Locke and all the fantastic people there, like Gloria Picton, will be putting on flamenco dancing and everything like this going on there. So there will be a huge party, Harley.
Party, hey. Awesome. That's like, we've got a great weekend.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, we're only just in February. This is usually the quiet months. There's so much going on.
Yeah, well, I think that's quite great that they've got independent venue.
Yeah.
A week, like in January.
Yeah.
Well, and the end of Feb. You know, it's pretty mad because it's quite smart planning on people's.
Because there's not going to be a lot of big chain franchise events or whatever you want to call it.
And also there's going to be it's going to be less difficult to book people that are on tour in January because they just won't have so many bookings. So that's one of the reasons why I'm recording the album. Another little drop there of the album there, you hear that? Because I no, that was just a squelch. What was that squelch? There we go.
That's just all it does.
Album drop, love it. Okay. Stop punching me in the face. Ow. Because I know that most of the people that are recording on this album are usually chock-a-block with gigs because they're all very, very talented people. So being able to record this in January because people are on hiatus writing themselves, like it's a ridiculous amount of excitement going on in Ipswich right now, Harley.
Just
with other albums, not just mine. I'm really happy to be part of this kind of surge in new music coming your way, because not just your way, I mean, you're part of it.
Specifically in my direction.
Yes, we're making albums just for you.
Yep.
I've heard tell that Ashton Jones has an original album coming out.
Nice.
That he's been writing with Harry Green.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and RJ. So
I was chatting with Jade Peters. She's working on original material that should be coming around, I think, April time, she said, roughly.
With Adam as well.
I don't know who's involved in the writing process with this, but I
hope he is, because his chord knowledge, his harmony knowledge is fantastic.
Yeah,
and I also
3 albums with him.
know that Vanya from Motherfunker are working on recordings and working on songs. So there's just so much. Impilo are working on an album.
Nice.
Like I've seen some of the artwork. I've seen some of the songs going. They dropped.
They had lots of new material out on Saturday, which is great.
And a fantastic artist to be excited about at the moment is Angel, who was also part of Beats, Beats, Rhymes and Grime from ioradio.co.uk. she did a spoken word performance at the Impilo show, and also came on with Impilo to do a brand new track as a collaboration with them. And man, was that exciting!
It was really good.
Yeah.
That had real energy to that. You know, just to have two rappers on stage,
but both of them with fantastic social commentary.
Yes.
They're not just performers. They're not just sitting there spitting out about like anything and everything. They have cutting words that are very definitive of our time and generation.
Yeah.
They are talking about things that we all can relate with, and it's not just a hip hop thing. It's a life thing, especially with Angel. Like if you listen to her words, like she's got some fantastic stuff she goes on about on her Facebook. She did a session with a beatboxer at the Spread Eagle last week, and if you listen to just what she's saying, like in these performances, I think you'll appreciate why I think she's an exciting artist to watch at the moment.
First time I met Angel was at Mayday Festival.
Yeah,
was it last year?
Was that the Global Rhythm stage? Not Global Rhythms, Global Village stage. Sorry,
it was. Well, she came up to me and she's like, "There you are. How you doing?" And I went, "Hi," and she went, "You all right?" I went, "Yeah." And she walked walked off, and I wasn't who she thought I was.
That's a fantastic anecdote. I was saying this to Tom McCarthy because Tom and I went to see 36 Crazy Fists last week, and we saw a band that he toured with there at the show. And I said to him, "Go and say hello, man." Like he's just like, "No, they won't remember me." I said, What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, it's just like I know what I'm like as a band member. When people come up to me and just say, 'Hey dude, remember me?' It's often the answer is no, I do not." And it's a horrible thing because you feel like that doesn't happen to you often, but it probably happens to you more than you expect.
Yeah.
You're sitting there going, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, yeah, you know, how's your thing that you've been going on with? And you just answer, and you're just like, "Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about because, you know, my dog needed veterinary bills paid."
I did feel really bad actually on Saturday. Amy Mallet, did you see her?
Yes, yeah.
I walked past her twice and she waved at me and I kind of waved back and went, "Who's that?" She looks so different from...
I saw her at Startiste.
Oh, yeah.
And she is actually working on some fantastic new creative business ideas.
Yes.
Just all about it's kind of getting people with learning difficulties and also other people that just want to get musical and just get them doing it. It's one of those businesses that you're just like, it needs backing because just getting people doing music.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry, just,
is that Jay, is it?
It's Jay.
It's Jay Goodrich outside the door.
He's not even listening to us.
What exciting...
Oh, no, maybe he is. Say hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
He didn't... I was hoping...
What an exciting time we live in.
I'm really excited. Like, there's so much going on around here, and we're making our own industry almost. Like
just in our county. You know?
You hear about like these sort of, you know, chart-topping bands and how they know everyone and stuff like that. It's because they're just part of a community. Yeah, it's a different community than what we're from because we're not from those circles, but we've got our own group of people.
Thing. Yeah,
you know.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's like, you know, we'll all have these anecdotes to be talking about. Yeah, I remember when I was, you know, when I was with Angel, just like freaking rocking out hard to Impilo at the Swan. Yeah. Or, you know, you'll be sitting there going, "Oh, I remember when Jay Goodrich and I used to just hang out at Punch Studios." And there's all these memories we're making. Like, there's so many people pushing to make it big time, but relish what you're doing right now because like who you're working with right now, that's making you as a musician. That's making you as a music fan.
If someone asked me, you know, if I'd made loads of money or won the lottery or whatever, what would I be doing? And I'd be doing exactly this. I love what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah. You know, just a nicer house and a van that works. Yes, that's it. The only thing that makes it hard is the fact that I can't always afford to be able to keep doing this or whatever. The same thing, yeah. And, you know, you have to make changes to make it more affordable and make it more sustainable. But, I'm just in the position at the moment where I'm just loving everything that I'm a part of, and I'm surrounded by really good musicians and friends and colleagues. If you may. Colleagues. And colleagues. It's good. It's good to be alive right now. Yeah. Well, it's good to be alive. So yeah, I want to make sure that everybody knows that last week we had the Murray and Josh show as Harley was in Amsterdam. Yes. So we having the pancakes. Yes. I didn't realise pancakes. Oh, that was more Sean Connery. There was Sean Connery Bane. Yes, Batman. I love pancakes and cigars.
Welcome to Batman. That's it.
I didn't realise like pancakes were actually a thing in Holland.
Yeah, there we
were
go.
pancake shops. So I was
Schnoppen
like,
waffle.
oh my god.
Wash mein Goschen. That's nice. But yeah, we will be putting on the podcast there for everybody to listen to on YouTube and Podbean tonight. So as a little special thing, check that out tonight. That will be available. That's about a half an hour, 45-minute podcast of Murray and I talking about the music industry, as Harley and I do, just with a little Murray twist to it.
I can't wait to hear that because I wasn't there.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
So I get to hear it for the first time.
So speaking of winning the lottery, I'd like to play this song by Stretch Soul Gang to play us out. And this track's called "Ain't Got No Money."
Oh,
Isn't that relevant, Harley? Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Times are high. It seems I'm all dried out.
It's the Harley and Josh show on iRadio.